Welcome to Cucina Kouzina, Italian-Greek cooking show. I'm Deborah Detora, and cucina means kitchen in Italian and cucina means kitchen in Greek. I will be sharing both Greek and Italian recipes, and in the coming episodes I'll be also using a fusion of both the Italian and Greek as a tribute to my heritage. Today I'll be sharing my baklava recipe and some time-saving techniques. We are all very busy, and making special desserts should not be daunting. Some of my friends who are not Greek love baklava, but they think it's too confusing and takes too much time to make. But I'm going to dispel that myth. At first, you'll always want to use the best ingredients. I try to use organic whenever possible. And I know it's slightly more expensive, but it's healthier for you. You'll be surprised at the difference in taste based on the quality of the ingredients. Now, I've coarsely chopped in the food processor 16 ounces of walnuts. Now, some people like it a little bit coarser, but you can do that to your preference. I also have cinnamon. It depends on your preference again. I like a lot of cinnamon, but for this it's 1 tablespoon and 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. And also I use a little raw sugar. Or you can use Florida crystals or raw sugar. Many of the baklava recipes use a lot of sugar. I do not, because you get the sweetness from the honey. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put the ingredients in and mix them up. We get their little 15 seconds of fame. You just mix each of the ingredients separately. And the sugar. Now, one of the things I wanted to say about the cinnamon, there's 2 types. There's Ceylon, I like to use Ceylon, and there's Saigon, which is cassia cinnamon. I use Ceylon because there's a coumarin enzyme in cinnamon, and some people do not have the liver enzymes to digest the coumarin in the substance in the cinnamon. So I use the Ceylon, which has a little less of that substance. So now we're going to put these away. And we're going to melt 2 sticks of unsalted, good quality butter. I like to use Kate's or Irish or Kerrygold Irish butter. It has a good flavor. So what you're going to do is place half of the mixture, or half of the butter, into the mixture. And then you're going to mix that up. And try to get it as wet as possible. Okay, then you're going to take out your sheets of phyllo. And you can get the phyllo dough. A lot of people make their own, but that's what's time consuming. And that will take you weeks to do. You can get the phyllo at any of the supermarkets. Some of the supermarkets do not carry a good brand. I like to use, there's also a Greek specialty store in Lowell and Belmont that you can use. They have a contest number 5 or Zacharisia, which is $4.50, or at Whole Foods they also have an organic phyllo factory pastry. So a lot of the other ones, they stick, so they're very difficult to use. So what you're going to do is take the butter and spread it over the pan, cover the bottom and the sides, You want to cover the bottom and the sides very well so it doesn't stick. And and before you start, always preheat your oven to 350 degrees so that at least for the first part of the baking process. Then the other thing that you're going to do is you're going to count about 4 or 5 layers from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then fold it. This will give you an indication when you're going to run out of phyllo dough so that you can have enough for the top. So then you're going to spread the butter. Be as liberal as possible. And each sheet. And you're going to place 4 or 5 of these phyllo sheets in your pan. So you're going to place it and drape it. So that's 1. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention is the little painting in the back. When I was little, I've gone to Greece twice, and there was a ruin that my father painted. And this is his painting, and that's Deborah Detora. He's Italian. So you're going to drape it again. Now try to make sure that you have enough of slack so that you don't break the dough. And then keep alternating your pan when you're putting, so put about 4 or 5 as I said. And turn the pan over so that you can get enough of coverage. There you go. We'll do one more. And you turn the pan one more time, and we'll do the 5th one. Yeah, we'll have enough. Then what you're going to do, make sure you have slack. Just pick it up a little bit so that you have enough so you don't go through the dough. Then you're going to take your mixture, place it in the corners first. Place it in the corners first. Making a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. We'll clean it up after. Then on the sides, okay, then you're going to butter another few sheets. And then you're going to alternate the mixture with the phyllo sheets until you don't have any more mixture left. I'm getting close to the bottom, so then spread it around. This will be the last one. Once you get to the end of your once you use all of your mixture, then you're going to start buttering the last sheets for the top. Okay, one more, and you'll see that I came to my little fold. So see, there's the fold. So that tells me I'm done. I won't have enough for the top if I don't do that. So spread the last of the mixture. Get all that goodness. And then spread the butter for your last for the top. Do the same thing, turn the pan so that you can alternate the leaves, the filo leaves. Now, if you ever, depends on the size of the package that you buy in the store. If you ever find yourself with more filo sheets than you used, you can always put it in the refrigerator and then use it for, instead of pie crust, apple pie, chicken pot pie, your favorite appetizer. Actually, the filo has less calories than pie crust. So 1/16 of a serving for pie crust is 100 calories, but for filo it's 85. So I'm going to get rid of that. Then you're done. Take this out of the way. Now you're going to take the filo, and then you're going to take it and you're going to fold it underneath. Turn the pan and fold it underneath. Be careful not to pierce the bottom because all of the mixture will leak out. Straighten it out a little bit. And then take the remaining melted butter, and pour it on the top. Make sure you get all of that goodness. Okay, so now that you've buttered the entire top, I like to score it first. Because I use a diagonal, and then you're just gonna cut on a diagonal. You're not gonna cut the complete pieces. You're just gonna score it so that the mixture will cook. So each of the layers in between the mixture will cook. Otherwise, they'll start to steam. Then you're gonna put it in a 350-degree oven, and you're going to put some parchment over it for half an hour. After the half an hour, you're going to take the parchment off, lower the temperature to 325 degrees until golden brown. It could take less than a half an hour. Each oven is different, so you'll just have to watch it. Okay, we'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'll show you how to cook the syrup mixture. My passion for cooking started when I was a child. My earliest memories were cooking koularakia, Greek sesame cookies, with my mother and my grandmother. Over the years, I've cooked for co-workers, friends, and family, and I even started a little business called Aphrodite's Confection when I was in my 20s. As I ease into retirement, I'm introducing Cucina Kouzina, a cooking show which is a tribute to my Greek and Italian heritage. We'll be making baklava, spanakopita, pasticcio, which is known as a Greek lasagna, a vegetable Italian lasagna. I'll even be tweaking a few of my yaya's recipes with more healthier ingredients. Some of my recipes are in the Holy Trinity Ladies Philoptophos Greek Cookbook. I think you're going to really like Cucina Kouzina, so let's get cooking.
Awesome, that was really great.
Well, welcome back. The baklava has been out of the oven. It's cooled, and now we're going to make the syrup. Now, again, we like to use local honey. This is Carlisle honey, and it's in season. It's the spring blossom honey. So we're going to use about one cup of that. We're going to put it into the saucepan. And then we're going to use about 3 ounces of water. Now, depending on the quality of the water in your town, you can either use bottled water, filtered water, and if your town water is good, then tap is fine. So we're going to put that in there, and we're going to bring this to a low boil. So now you're going to mix the water and the honey, and I'll come to a low boil, and you'll see the consistency of it. Make sure that it's hot. And you always want to pour hot syrup mixture over cooled baklava. And then even once you pour the syrup over the baklava, you want to let that sit so all that goodness is absorbed. So as you can see, it's starting to coalesce. And then you can either bring the baklava in a pan to your party, or you can cut them into little pieces. And then I put maraschino cherries on top to make a little design. And in Christmas time, I like to get the green maraschino cherries, and then you make a little flower for the top. Now you're going to cut, when you cut it, when I did take it out of the oven, I did cut it into the little pieces, because if you remember, I just scored it in a diagonal. And I try to get organic or the maraschino cherries that is not packed in corn syrup or that has those dyes. So if you can see, these are not as red as you would normally see, so they're a little pinkish because they don't have the dye. So that's what I would do. But everybody has their own preferences, and you can do whatever you like. It's your party. I'm going to increase this a little bit more, see if we can get this to boil a little faster. Careful not to burn yourself. A little faster. Take your time. You don't have to rush, because the baklava is cooked, so you don't have to worry about this part. And you can put it in the refrigerator overnight if you like, and make the syrup in the morning. Just make sure you take it out of the refrigerator so it's not very, very cold. Okay, this is starting to steam up now. Okay. And then you're going to take it and pour it over the baklava. Now, if you have any left over, you can put it in a jar. Try to cover everything. You can put it in a jar, and you can use it instead of sugar for your coffee or tea in the morning. So now you see how there's a lot on the bottom. You're going to have to wait until that's absorbed before you serve it. But for the magic of television, I am going to garnish it right now. What I do is I take the whole cherry and I cut it in half, so you make a little bit of a decoration. And cherries go very well with walnuts and honey and anything, quite frankly. And we're almost done. And it's that simple. So keep calm and have some baklava. Okay, and here you have the finished product, the baklava in the little baking cups, plated. Thank you for watching. My name is Deborah Detora, Cucina Kouzina. If you have any questions, you can contact me at cucina.kouzina@gmail.com. Thank you and enjoy, and hope to see you in future episodes.